In this thrilling quest, 4 warriors split into 2 groups. Jinjai and Domei, a dynamic pair, rush to the hospital's 2nd floor. Domei is a superhero in the adventure world, having checked off 3 infamous haunted spots already. This is her 4th location at Kunchanryang, where she wrote "Domei is alive" on the wall to prove her bravery. They finally reach the lab, filled with a pungent aroma, littered with stacks of case files and broken chemical instruments. Suddenly, a familiar doll caught her eye, and to everyone's surprise, Domei pulled out a picture her friend took here. The photo was just like the present view, and in her excitement, Domei accidentally smashed the jar. The stench hit it was a salad-dressed Kunchan. Holy moly! Meanwhile, Sanji and Zio may reach the 3rd floor. If the 1st and 2nd floors are hotbeds of supernatural events, the 3rd and 4th are real ghost hubs, especially the 3rd floor bathroom. The wall always revealed shadowy human figures, resembling a woman with unkempt hair. As they moved further in, Sanji suddenly shouted, "Holy moly! Yeshbara, no, no, no!" The ghostly figure almost made him lose control, but thankfully Zio May stayed surprisingly calm. Upon closer look, it turned out to be just a wig. Holding it in her hand, Sanji was frozen in shock. This is quite the prank, messing with Sanji's little day. Well, let's cut back to Domei. Domei and Jinjai headed down the 4th floor corridor, taking out a UV sensor to prove the existence of ghosts. They installed it in the ceiling, ready to capture any weak energy, and found themselves in front of the infamous room 402. This room was used for treating severe cases, and many who tried to open that door met unfortunate fates. After hearing Jinjai's explanation, the viewer count skyrocketed, and Zio Shiwai could practically see the money. Older brother told everyone that the demotion ritual was ready, so everyone should grab the cameras. The room's full of red string bells, table covered with floating arms. Millet, brace yourselves. The ceremony was about to kick off, with everyone gathered tightly in anticipation of the ghost's arrival. Suddenly the candles went out, the bells rang, and everyone couldn't help but let out a collective "Uru." Seeing this, everyone rushed out without a second thought to could there really be ghosts in the hospital. Look! They were eager for ghosts, but panic set in when they appeared. A moment later, the older and 2nd brothers re-entered the director's office. The phone rang, and Zio Shiwai complimented their fantastic performance. The live stream was a hit, with clicks surpassing 100,000, and the 2 aimed straight for 1 million. In fact, the previous scene was all orchestrated by Zio Shiwai for the ultimate show. None of them knew the script, which is why their reactions were so genuine. Suddenly, the stove flared up, and Zio Shiwai rushed to shut it off, but it spun out of control, terrifying everyone. Soon after a flurry of garbled code, the live stream was back up and running. The scene shifted back to the hospital, and after a brief rest, everyone returned to the 2nd floor corridor. Although they couldn't explain the strange event earlier, they agreed to investigate the lab for answers. The jar Domei knocked over emitted a terrible stench, and the doll seemed to have come to life without anyone noticing. This was completely different from what they had seen before. The doll was supposed to be in the cabinet. Just as he said this, the 2nd brother's hand was reaching for the doll, but Domei cried out to stop him. But it was already too late. Run. Just get out of here quickly. Domei ran out of the room in a panic, excitedly complaining about why the 2nd brother touched the doll. All of this was just for the show. The older and 2nd brothers had been orchestrating it behind the scenes. At that moment, Domei was completely scared, begging to leave, while Zio Shiwai calmed everyone down. If they stopped now, all their effort would be wasted for the sake of 1 million clicks in the brighter tomorrow. Zio May and Sanji went up to the 4th floor to install lights, while the others busied themselves in the lab. The ceiling had fallen, and empty wooden cabinets surrounded them. Oddly enough, each cabinet had a hole. Curiosity killed the cat, and the 2nd brother reached out to peek inside a cabinet. He felt something pulling at his arm from inside the cabinet and decided to reach in again. Domei and Jinjai voiced their concerns. Don't touch anything else. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get addicted to this? But the 2nd brother was particularly stubborn. Don't mind me, I'm brave. Let me do it. Subtitles. Jinjai refused to give in. I've been hanging out with ghosts since I was a little kid. A ghost should come join me for the fun. Soon, Jinjai also reached in and yelled, Yeshibara, Mama, mama. Everyone watched in a panic. Oh my. They soon realized this wasn't acting, it was genuine. Jinjai's arm had real claw marks. Just as everyone was in shock, a sound suddenly burst forth, and turning to look, the cabinet popped open with a bang.